Howdy, howdy, Chris here, and in today's episode, I'm going to share with you how to repair fish eyes. And if you look closely here, I have a fish eye right there, and one right there. We're going to repair those today. I'm going to show you how we do it, and this might come in handy on your paint job. So this repair will work perfectly if you just have a few fish eyes. If your paint job is loaded with fish eyes, my recommendation is to sand it down and re-clear it. Okay, so we're gonna focus on this fish eye right here. I'm hoping you can see that on camera. If I move it around just a little bit, see that? First thing we're gonna do is take a piece of 2000 grit wet sanding paper and we're gonna sand this area, just a small area around it, and get it prepped out. Okay, so I've got the piece of 2000 grit sandpaper, a little bit of water, and you should be able to see this fisheye a lot better after I wet sand this out. Now, you're not gonna be able to sand right in the fisheye, maybe just a little bit, but that's okay. So I mixed up a little bit of 2K urethane clear, and I have one of these paint daubers. I'll leave a link in the description. And I'm just gonna dip the end in a little bit of clear, and then I'm gonna lay that clear right in the center of that fisheye. And now we're gonna let it sit and let it dry for 24 hours. You don't need an excessive amount. You don't want it running, and you just wanna dab that right in the center. And that's all you need right there. And you wanna get enough in there that it's gonna fill that little fisheye. Okay, now this clear is cured and ready to be sanded. And the way we're gonna do that today is with a razor blade. We're gonna take this razor blade and we're gonna shave down the excess clear that's in the fisheye. I wrapped 2 pieces of tape around the edge of this, and what that does is it allows it to glide over the surface and shave down just the clear that's in the fisheye. Okay, and it works really well. You can always sand it with 2000 grit sandpaper, but then you're sanding around that fisheye, areas that don't need to be sanded and clear that doesn't need to be removed. Let's shave that excess clear down with the razor blade. Press a little hard to get that razor blade to hit that clear, and this is what you get. You shave the clear down out of the fisheye and flatten it out. I like to go in different directions, up and down, just to make sure that's nice and level. The next step is we want to lightly sand over it with 2000 grit sandpaper, and we're just smoothing it out just a little bit. I think the razor blade is about a 2000 grit scratch, but we want to sand it out, and then we'll go over it with some 3000 grit. This is a foam pad 3000 grit, and that's going to remove those 2000 grit scratches. I'm going over a bigger area at this point, and then we'll hit it with some 5000. Now, you don't need to go over it with 5000 or even 3000. You can buff out the 2000 grit scratches. And this is how it should look after you're done. It almost has a shine to it because of the 5000 sandpaper. It smooths it out really well. And now we need to go over it with a buffer. So for that, I'm going to use my 3M EX compound and my Milwaukee mini buffer. We're just going to put a little compound on the pad and buff this out to a high gloss. And we'll take a look and see if we can see those fish eyes. Now you could use a full-size rotary buffer to buff this out, an orbital buffer, or even do it by hand if you chose. And you just want to polish it out to a high gloss, and then we'll take a look and see how it turned out. Okay, so let's wipe off the excess compound and take a look and see if we can see where these fish eyes were. I took a real hard look at it, and if I looked really close, I could kind of see where they were, but it does not show up on camera, so they're virtually gone. So let's go ahead and do the rest of these areas, and then we'll look at the finished product. This channel is only made possible by your continued support, and by watching these videos, liking, and subscribing, you're supporting the channel. So thank you for the support. If you want to learn more ways to help out the channel, check out the links down in the description below. Let's take a look at this paint and see how it turned out. And as you can see, these fish eyes are virtually gone. It's a great way to save your paint job if you have just a few little fish eyes. If you have any questions about this repair, leave them in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, comment, say hi, let me know who you are, and welcome to the community. If you want to learn more about paint and body repair and how you can repair your own vehicle, click on one of these videos now. We'll see you next time on Garage Noise.